I think it becomes quite clear to shareholders that even as we stand today, we've got well over a year of runway in terms of our funding needs to run the business, such that we really don't have any near or medium-term funding requirements. And indeed, we have a variety of options available to us now. So, we've got what we need for the near term, medium term, and optionality going forward. So we're not reliant on any one source of funding.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Consilium CEO Eddie Travier and CFO Ben Prophet. Eddie, Ben, very good to speak with you. Could you give us a summary of the strategic update you released yesterday and what the key message is for shareholders?
Sure. I think the key message here is that we are not a pure play Bitcoin treasury company. The core business of the company has always been that of an accelerator and venture developer, and that remains the case today. So really what we're seeking to accomplish here is to refocus on that core business activity, but albeit with the support of the financial firepower that our treasury function gives us. Now, what this means for shareholder value creation is that, we're not going to just sit around and wait for the price of Bitcoin to increase in order to deliver value. We want to leverage our expertise in the sector through our core business, the venture business, our portfolio of strategic assets, and of course, as supported by the treasury function, so that we can create new shareholder value alongside the appreciation of the price of Bitcoin. So, I mean, obviously, we still believe in the long-term value prospects of Bitcoin. I mean, this is why our treasury function is entirely focused on Bitcoin. But the key message here is that, the creation of shareholder value that we're striving to accomplish is through the core business, not just through Bitcoin price appreciation.
Eddie, can you explain more about your expanded focus on the digital asset sector and what this means for the business?
Yes, sure. So we in this update, we start talking about prediction markets. This is a sector that has had tremendous growth lately, and I think it's quite important to understand first of all that there is a great use of blockchain technology in prediction markets, and the successful prediction markets, such as for example Polymarket, are the ones that are actually using blockchain technology throughout all the structure of their platform and for most of the users of the platform, and it brings a great level of transparency and a great level of ability to go from tokenizing the different markets and going to for traders to be much faster as having basically opportunities to make money on these markets. So I think that's why it has grown. And we are looking at this sector precisely because of that, because it's fast growing and it's a great use case of blockchain technology. So it's a natural extension, really. It's natural expansion in the sense that it is still very much close to the crypto space, and at the same time, it's beyond what we have done until now. And we announced in this update as well that we are in negotiations with a specific venture in which we would like to acquire a significant stake.
Ben, what's the current financial position of the company and its funding needs over the near to medium term?
So we obviously can't speak to specific numbers that we haven't already put in the public domain. But shareholders are obviously aware that over the course of last year, we raised around 17 million pounds in equity finance and deployed about 15 million of that into the accumulation of Bitcoin into our treasury component. So when you take the net of those two and you consider our previously reported cash positions and you extrapolate our corporate burn rate out of our previous financial statements, I think it becomes quite clear to shareholders that even as we stand today, we've got well over a year of runway in terms of our funding needs to run the business, such that we really don't have any near or medium-term funding requirements. And indeed, we have a variety of options available to us now. So, we've got what we need for the near term, medium term, and optionality going forward. So we're not reliant on any one source of funding.
Eddie, something that shareholders are probably keenly awaiting. Can you give us some updates on the upcoming Yellow launch and how the Yellow ecosystem will work?
Yes, sure. So as Yellow has itself announced, the token listing event is scheduled for March 8th, so very soon, in 5 days. This is something obviously everyone involved in the Yellow ecosystem has been waiting for and looking forward to. So Yellow position itself really as a decentralized clearing network. It means it's not trying to be another exchange or another blockchain. It focuses on solving really the clearing and the counterparty risk layer between exchanges, brokers, and trading venues. So, for example, on a centralized exchange, you would go and deposit your funds, and you need to trust that exchange not to fail, which unfortunately it has occurred in the past. With Yellow's model, there is what we call off-chain order matching. So the analogy that is being used by Yellow is quite interesting. It's like a bar tab. So basically, if you have a bar tab open, you can order drinks and you don't need to pay every time. So it works a bit like this. And then at the time when you pay, that's actually that part goes on chain. It's what Yellow calls a smart clearing. And at all times during that activity of trading, the collateral remains under a controlled framework. So the funds are in a smart contract. So basically, Yellow is helping removing all the silos in terms of liquidity. So instead of having exchange A and exchange B liquidity completely separate, Yellow enables for traders to actually be able to use that liquidity on the Yellow network. And there is something else which is happening more recently, is the fact that there are many new platforms actually using the Yellow technology or the Yellow SDK to build their own solutions. So Yellow is really achieving the development of a full ecosystem. And that is something that in the announcement we mentioned as well, that we're talking with the Yellow team to do more and to be more involved in the overall Yellow network ecosystem, as well as it attracts a lot of talent and entrepreneurs.
Lots to look forward to. Hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Eddy Travier, the CEO of Coincilium, as well as CFO Ben Profit.